Welcome into Let's Get Real. I'm your host, Jonah Debate. Now, a debate that has loomed over TV and Netflix fans forever is which is the better TV show, The Office or Parks and Rec? Both hit series, both mockumentary style, and they're binge-watched by millions around the world. And now, to finally settle this complex debate, we welcome in two experts on both sides of the argument. Representing Pawnee, Indiana, he loves JJ Waffles. We got Mike Advensky. And representing Dunder Mifflin, Scranton, we got AJ Larentana. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So now, first things first, Mike, we're going to start with you. Make your pitch for why Parks and Rec is the better show than The Office.
Well, John, I would definitely say Parks and Rec is the better show. You look at it, went for 7 great seasons, got one of the best ensemble casts you can ever imagine, got a great cast of characters, including Ron Swanson, and of course Leslie Knope, and I just can't imagine a better show.
And AJ, you hear all those great names, played by great actors, but on the other side of things, The Office also has their cast and stuff like that. But now, what is your main point for why The Office is better?
Well, Joan, I'm going to start off by saying The Office went for 9 great seasons, not 7.
Sure.
And overall, it's just a wonderful show to watch. It's something that you can relate to after a long work day. A lot of people like to watch a show that they feel as though they can connect with, and The Office is especially one that you can do that with. And Michael Scott, played by Michael Scott, one of the greatest bosses of all time, really dedicated to his company. Although it was maddening to watch him sometimes, and how dumb he was, but that was the beauty of it. And also, you can never get tired of seeing what Jim and Dwight were going to do. It's just a wonderful show altogether. Something that I truly enjoy watching.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with you that AJ is a good show, but I would say that Parks and Rec is definitely better because, although The Office came first, I think Parks and Rec came along and it just did what The Office set out to do better. And overall, it didn't have as many seasons, like I said before, but I think it did what it wanted to accomplish in a shorter amount of time, and it just got you to laugh every week. It was more...
But essentially, isn't it just a remake?
Well, isn't The Office a remake of the British version?
From the British version.
Yeah, it did.
Then came The Office, which did it better than the British version. Everyone can agree on that. And then came Parks and Rec, which again copied the same mockumentary style. You're the third tier.
Yeah, but isn't Michael Scott based off Ricky Gervais's character in the British version of The Office?
He is based off who is a producer of the show, Ricky Gervais.
Right.
But on another note, both of these, we've talked about the cast. You haven't really mentioned Jim and Pam yet, which is a love story of the ages for television history.
And Jim and Pam, they certainly do it better than Leslie and Ben. So,
I would disagree with that, but
and in what way? In what way? It's a classic love story.
It's a classic love story, but like Leslie and Ben is just a different kind of love story, and I think it's just a funnier one overall, one that gets you to laugh, but at the same time gets you to feel these emotions that just cause you to do both of those things, feel and love.
So, and we're talking about the main characters, Michael Scott, Leslie Knope, but both of these shows have great supporting casts that we haven't really hit on yet. So, AJ, who has the better ensemble of characters? The Office, has had most of the same characters for 9 seasons compared to Parks and Rec, where a revolving door for 7 seasons.
You look at The Office, you've got people like Rainn Wilson. That guy truly is a genius. And and him alone, he's a wonderful person to have on your cast. But then you've got so many others. Michael Scott's character is just absolutely fantastic. Like you mentioned before, Jim and Pam, and when they finally did end up together, I can remember how rewarding that was. Ultimately, it's just a show where you watch it and you get such a rewarding feeling from it. You feel as though you're almost a part of the show, which is definitely something that I didn't feel with Parks and Rec. Especially with the turnover of characters and whatnot. And even Ron Swanson, as in comparison to Michael Scott, Ron Swanson has said, I don't care about my job. Things like that. Why would you want to have a boss that didn't care about your job?
Because it's more realistic. It's more what I think a lot of people, experience in the real world. Who really loves going to their job every single day? There are plenty of people that work in that office type setting.
But you don't want to hear your boss say that he doesn't love his job.
But do you want your boss to lie to you? Do you want your boss to just pretend everything's all right when it's not?
But where are you coming up with these assumptions?
So, Mike, are you saying that
I certainly know that I love my job and that.
You may love your job and you may not, but Mike, are you saying that the Parks and Rec is more relatable to the everyday person?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
The Office is?
A lot of the dialogue in The Office, it's funny, but it's very awkward and just weird. And I'm thinking to myself, is that really realistic? Is that really what an office type setting is like?
Well, Parks and Rec is like that too. except it's a little stranger. I mean, the Office is awkward, but it's granted. You know, like for example, like when Dwight looks at the camera awkwardly, you know, and you kind of get like that strange feeling, but it's at the same time it's like kind of interesting. And then when you see it done on Parks and Rec, I can't remember even the character of that one woman, but she does it, and it's just weird.
You mean Leslie or?
Yeah, whoever she is.
So now, while we have
cares.
Leslie on tap, Mike, obviously
Yeah.
you're going to say Leslie, and AJ, you're going to say Michael Scott. But really quick, give me one reason why Leslie's better than Michael Scott.
Because she's just so funny and witty at the same time, but you can also tell that she cares about her job and her employees, but in a different kind of way than Michael Scott. Not the kind of way where he's just like sitting there and making stupid remarks, but she just really cares.
And then AJ, to counter that super quick.
Well, I mean, Michael Scott's unfiltered. You know, he's a guy that you'd want to talk to. You don't want to talk to someone that puts on a front all the time. You know, and he certainly is someone that does care about his boss, and that is shown in his great performance ratings at the office, or cares about his job, excuse me.
Yeah.
And that is something that is certainly shown in his great performance at the office, and he does care so deeply about his Scranton branch. Especially for me, someone from upstate New York, I'm close to Scranton. So, you know, that's
He
something
never
that hits
left
home.
Scranton. He withdrew his name from consideration, as he would say. But all great points. We're going to have to take our first break of the night. On Let's Get Real, after the break, we'll debate who's the better school, Ithaca or Cortland. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, Cortland.